everyone? Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2. I got my boy Terrence in the building. What's going on?
What's good? Thank you for having me for sure.
Would you be able to tell people what it is that you do?
So right now, I'm definitely real heavy on my design and I'm working on my brand, Easy Target. Follow us, Easy Target Academy. But yeah, I'm really just working on my brand right now. I started off modeling in my earlier years. My boys, they had a clothing brand, so I was doing a lot of freelance modeling for a bunch of friends of mine. But then in the last maybe 2 years, I started working on my own brand. I came up with Easy Target. And then, yeah, I just really got into design, and I was always into drawing and sketching. And I just started, sketching my own designs
Gotcha.
and bringing it to life.
So before I go ahead and ask you, like, the question I always ask, which is, where did you find your passion? I would like to talk about the name of your brand. So where did Easy Target come from?
It started real personal for me. It was before it was a brand. It came from personal experiences I felt in life, whether it was good or bad. I felt like I was an easy target in life, in certain situations, just from reputation or whatever it may be. I always felt like an easy target, So at first I got it tattooed, and then I became real into fashion with the model and everything, and then that's how it just became the name of my brand.
Gotcha. And do you feel like Easy Target, as the name that represents your brand, can speak for a lot of others?
Absolutely. And that was part of why it became the name of my brand, because I felt like it could fit more than just me. I felt like anybody in any situation in life can feel like an easy target for their own reasons. And so that was definitely part of it.
Got you. And if there was anything you want people to take away from your name, right, what would it be?
One thing that they can take away is that it's sort of in a slogan, it's not for everybody but for anybody, and that can be for clothes, that can be for a certain personality. It might not be for you, but it could be for anybody else,
Gotcha.
Not for everybody but for anybody.
And you mentioned that the reason that really came to be was because you felt like you were easy target your whole life, right? So why is it that you felt like the easy target?
Growing up, I was just always like, it was really heavy on reputation. I was sort of just not a troubled kid, but I was always getting in trouble or whatever. So whether it was in school or at home or whatever, or with a group of friends, it was always, I always felt like it was quick to say, and whether it was good or bad, it could be good reasons. I'm always the one that might be picked out, like in the crowd or picked out in the crew.
Gotcha.
And so that's sort of just where it came from.
Gotcha.
Sort of like it's always me kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So to move on to the question, where is it that you found your passion for modeling, designing, styling, and then eventually having your clothing brand?
I found the passion maybe midway through high school when I changed a group of friends. Because I was really more so living day to day, doing stuff. I always had style, but I was never really into it.
Okay.
I was always doing shit without realizing, really what I'm doing. Like I was always distressing my own jeans, like back in middle school. Before that, I was always distressing my own clothes and, just into style, but I wasn't really into clothing brands and stuff like that. I was just living day by day out, running the streets, doing trouble and shit like that. But then I changed a group of friends, and they were really into fashion. They had their clothing brand. They were into, running around New York, hanging out with different fashion crowds. And so when that became my day-to-day lifestyle, I really just became into it. And that's when I started modeling. First it was for my friend's brand. I started modeling with them, and then, I started meeting different people with brands and photographers, and, I started doing my own kind of photo shoots. But coming from Jersey or whatever, it just wasn't that easy, like, to, get connected with different people or different agencies and shit like that. So it was a lot of freelance work. And then maybe in the last couple years, after a lot of personal shit, maybe a couple years went by, that's when Easy Target came.
Gotcha.
And that's when I started, just, designing my own clothes, making my own designs, my own graphic designs. And now it's really coming along to a more professional thing.
So what I do want to ask is, when you were a child, you did say that you had this, that you were a little bit getting into things that you really shouldn't have. Like acting up, being a kid, you know what I mean?
Word.
Where do you feel like is it that you changed, or the mind was like, I no longer want to do this, and then the creativity started to really come out of you?
A couple things will change that. You know, as you grow up, you just go through different life things. Like, so the first change was when I changed my group of friends, obviously. You know, it went from, running around the streets, not really doing nothing,
Mm-hmm.
to, running around different streets, but doing shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We still run the streets, but there's, some sort of purpose behind it. There's some sort of, passion behind the shit that we doing. So that was the first change. And then in terms of a mindset change, I had a girlfriend that helped for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me grow up for sure. Just look at things differently, more independently, and just more seriously.
Gotcha.
And that's when I became more serious and just doing the stuff that I do.
Got it. And I think when you speak to your parents or you speak to other individuals, and I think it's
Mm-hmm.
true when people say that it's more empowering when you're doing things successfully
Mm-hmm.
and you're not hurting anybody doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because a
Yeah,
lot of
definitely.
people, like what I took from what you said is before you guys were running around the streets really not doing nothing, but
Mm-hmm.
now you're running the streets, but it's in a more productive
Yeah,
way and
exactly.
in a fashion sense, and
Exactly.
being creative and doing things the right way,
Mm-hmm.
where you're not hurting anybody, but you're being successful
Mm-hmm.
and you're still running things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's important for people, at least the younger generation, to understand that you know you can have a group of friends, but make sure that they're on the same time as you, or they're just trying to do something
Yeah,
productive in life.
exactly. For sure.
So how do let me rephrase that. Um, why do you think it's so important to find people who will support you or are productive themselves?
That's the only way you grow. Um, that's the only way you grow. I think when people say you are who you hang around, that's very true, but in a different way than they mean it. I think one, you get judged off of who you hang around, but
Mhm.
forget about judgments. It's more so if you continue to hang around that,
Mhm.
that's all you're ever gonna be around. And so if the people you hang around are not being productive in any way, if they're not finding themselves, that's only gonna hold you back. Because
Mhm.
you can't move and do your own thing and grow yourself while trying to carry other people. That's an anchor for you. So it's definitely important to have a group of friends that know themselves, know what they're looking for in life, for sure.
Got you. And for you to be doing all the things that you're doing, I do think these friends might need a shout out. You got any friends you want to shout out real quick?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out my boy Jared. He's doing his thing. He's doing real good on his thing. My boy Zell. They both got their own clothing brands. They're doing real good right now. Some people that I know just through them. Mazier is a good brand that they're doing good right now. So that's a few just local people that I know that
Got
are
you.
doing real good right now, that are up and coming.
Got you.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, because I want to get to your story, but there's one thing I do want to ask is, when it comes to the style of your brand,
Hmm.
what would you call it, or at least categorize it in?
Yeah, so mine, I want to be able to hit every category.
Mhm.
That's part of being for everybody. I want to be able to hit every category. Right now, the stuff that I have out is more so streetwear.
Mhm.
But I want to be able to get into this making suits and clothes for females, and I want to hit every different kind of category. Luxury clothes, luxury accessories. I definitely want to go across the board.
I'm not gonna lie, I just thought about your logo on a suit.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
might
yeah,
go
yeah. I have a
insane.
bunch of different designs already sketched up. It's a process for sure,
Yeah.
but I definitely have the timeline and everything that I want to hit on it already mapped out.
Because for some reason, I don't know, when I first thought about it, when you said like suits and everything,
Mm,
I had like this, as soon as you said it, like either on the right on the back, your logo just
exactly.
big and stitched on,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah. Something like that. Yeah,
if you open it up, it's right on the inside,
yeah. You got it.
and I
Something
think that
like
would be
that.
super dope. Unless I'm like Scarface, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I thought that'd be
yeah.
cool.
Or something like that.
But to continue on, right?
Mhm.
I want to talk about you growing up before you even found the passion for making clothing, right?
Mhm.
So where was Terrence at before all of the good, or at least the creative side
Mhm.
became?
So like I sort of touched on before, I
Mhm.
was sort of living in the moment. Just running the streets with different friends. Um, not really thinking about my future much. Not that I had any trouble with anything, I was, I was chilling the same way everybody else was living life, but I was definitely just living in the moment, and some of that sometimes I not regret it, but I wish I had more of my head on my shoulders, I wish I had more of my own mindset when I was younger. But that was really definitely just me, just living in the moment day to day, and that got me where it got me, whether it was good or bad.
Gotcha.
And that's part of just the easy target, reputation that I feel like I've built.
Gotcha. And who, growing up, do you feel like was an inspiration for you?
Inspiration for me?
It could be close family or a celebrity.
Nah, it would probably be like movie characters.
Movie characters?
Yeah, it'd probably be movie characters that inspire me. I was always into like mafia movies.
Okay.
Or like, yeah, I was always into mafia movies or like just Street King movies.
Okay.
Yeah, like I like Casino or Goodfellas or
Okay.
King of New York. Just I was always like characters for sure. People unnecessarily, I don't think inspired me much.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily inspired much by people. Maybe at a young age, I was very impressionable. Like people will leave an impression on me, but not enough to really inspire me to really do anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's understandable. And what I do want to ask, since you brought up the movie characters, right?
Mm.
Is there a movie character from when you were growing up, right, that you were like, I like his style?
James Bond.
James Bond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, James Bond was always fly.
Okay.
And plus the suit game was crazy. He was always fly and he had all the gear. Yeah, James Bond was real fly. Gotcha. I just liked his whole demeanor. And he always got the females. Yeah, James Bond was real fly.
Yeah. I think, isn't they supposed to make another one?
I hope so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully you can style him.
That'll be fire.
That'll be fire.
If I fire James Bond in an easy target suit, that should be crazy.
Crazy.
It fit the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That should be crazy. I'm going to work on that. Figure something out. I'm going to make my own James Bond movie.
Look at that.
Right.
Look at that.
Yeah.
But to continue on, right, what I do want to ask you about is Fashion Week, right? So were you able to attend?
Yeah, I went out there for a couple of days this year. I was out there a couple of days. I went to the Mizere event. They had their fashion show. They did their thing. That was real cool. They had the after party. That was real cool. My boy Jared, he had his pop-up in New York. That was real cool. I had a pop-up I did yesterday, a little after Fashion Week. But yeah, I had a pop-up I did yesterday. So I was out there. It was cool to see everybody, graduate from, going out there and seeing everybody else's brand, be part of Fashion Week to now it's our stuff out there. Now it's us walking out there,
Exactly.
So it's definitely cool to see me and my friends and just grow up to that.
Got you. What I do want to ask is it important to go out and have people at least see your face and make connections?
Definitely. Is it important to just go out and just have people see you?
Yeah.
And not really be looking for anything in return, but just have people see you? Definitely. I was just going through that yesterday, to be honest. I was doing a pop-up that I was doing yesterday, and because of the weather, I wasn't really feeling it. I was trying to reschedule, but it just wasn't working, so I wasn't really feeling it. But when I went there, and it was good. It was mad successful, financially, recouped my money back and then some. Met mad people, networked with mad people. Networking is important, because these days with social media and everything, you got to build that platform, and so you can't just word to mouth. You can't just run around the streets. And these days, everybody's real tight with their crew already. It's not easy to all of a sudden just build and insert yourself in different crowds. So it's important to definitely have that, platform grow to where everybody's seeing it somewhere, That's notoriety is important.
And I think that it's clear that we are, at least I want to say that we're the generation, or we're the people that are trying our best to defy what it is that's getting put on us when it comes to technology. Because the technology is what's keeping us home. And it is taking away from the connections that we could be possibly making if we're going out, going to New York, and I want to touch on that as well. But going to New York, or if you're living in Atlanta and you go into the city, or you live in California, but you really don't go outside and you're trying to make it on social media. Everything has its own connection. You have to it's one thing, and I can say this on camera. I'm somebody who's still working on trying to be outside and make those connections. But sometimes, and this is something that I feel like some people have to admit. I have to admit myself, but it's the fact that I'm telling myself, should I go? In reality, once you go there, you already, you know what I mean?
Once you get there, you're good.
Exactly. It's all about that idea of, should I go? But once you're there, everything's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. I have that problem myself, 100%. Because, like you, I'm not the type of person, I really don't like being out that much. You feel me? Like, I was never the type to go to clubs or I was never really out that much. I like low-key scenes, know what I mean? I'll pop out for a little bit. But I was never the type to just hang around too much.
Exactly.
You feel me? So I have that same problem, do I really feel like going? You feel me? When you're in the crib getting ready and shit, like, do I really feel like getting ready to go? Like, you got to fight that for sure. You definitely got to fight that. You got to make it a habit to, if you have that bad habit, you got to make it a habit to get rid of it for sure.
Because we get comfortable.
Exactly. And that's what it is. It's that comfortability. And comfortability keeps you stagnant.
Exactly. And that's why I feel like that's why this, for myself, I can say that for myself, like, you came in jeans today, right? I came in jogging pants. Why did I come in jogging pants? Because it's freezing outside. But I'm the same person that is like, I want to style. I want to, make my style a little bit more out there. But then I'm putting jogging pants on all the time. And there's, don't get me wrong, there's jogging pants that they style them. The people create very, very nice pairs of jogging pants. But when you get comfortable, you start to wear the same things over and over again because it's comfortable. But
100%.
In order
even with jeans, it don't even gotta be sweats. It could be any kind of clothes. You just wear them all the time.
Exactly.
Because I got clothes that I wear all the time. My closets are full, but I have clothes. I wear the same shit almost all the time.
Would you say being a someone who styles themselves, right? Is there a sense of that sometimes you can't be comfortable in the clothes, not mentally but physically? So you could be physically not
uncomfortable, but
mentally comfortable.
I think that being a mindset is like a myth.
Okay.
Because it's like, I mean, if you're uncomfortable in the clothes, then it's like you're fucking uncomfortable in the clothes. Whether you look good or not, I don't see how the two correlate. You feel me? If you look good, it's like, all right, I'm gonna look good, but if I don't feel good, then I'm gonna be mad as fuck in this shit. So it's like I'm not in shit for someone else's opinion.
Gotcha.
I appreciate someone else's opinion, but I need to look good and feel good at the same time.
Got you.
I think, the whole if you look good, you feel good thing, yeah, that's a fact. You could put on some bullshit, but if you're comfortable, then you could walk around mad confident. That's a fact, I guess, sure. But, yeah, nah, to me, the two don't really correlate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other question I have that I wish I would have asked Bird on the podcast, because I feel like this is so important when it comes to stylists, right? Do you have to be a certain height to look good in a certain
height?
Yes.
That's like that's another myth. That's an old model thing. And so, like I said earlier, coming from Jersey, when I was heavy on modeling, it wasn't easy to get with agencies because I was never the tallest person. Like I was never tall. So that was something that an issue that I always ran into was my height being a thing. And I never understood that because I'm like, these niggas are taller than me, but I'm a better model, get flyer. But whatever. Like, you feel me? Like, okay, they got this, so like they could have it. So no, I don't feel like you have to be a certain height.
Okay.
I guess maybe certain clothes to fit certain clothes, but nah, because if you could really get fly and style, then you can, get somebody right in whatever it is.
Because if you look at it, I feel like you said, I do believe it's a myth as well. Because if you look at like individuals like NFL players, right? They wasn't styling back, when I guess when we were watching them when I was growing up. You know what I mean? And now they're getting real fly. Somebody
Definitely
exactly
because they have stylists now.
Yeah. And if you look at it, people like that you wouldn't think are gonna put on these super fly outfits and be able to make them work the way that we thought only the skinny tall guys can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the skinny tall women. But
Yeah.
now I feel like anybody could style, but do you believe that certain things don't look good on certain body types?
Yeah, that's fair. I think.
Okay.
Well, you know what? With athletes, it's always been funny to me because
Okay.
athletes can't dress for shit. Athletes can't dress for shit, but that's just because my
That's not
boy
the.
told me because he was a former athlete or whatever. It's
Mhm.
because they can't focus on that. You feel me?
Exactly.
They gotta focus on their craft. You feel me? Like my craft is fashion, their craft is whatever their sport is. So that's why they're nice as shit at ball. You feel me?
Mhm.
You feel me? That's why I'm fly as shit because we focus on what we focus on. But with certain athletes, does their like demeanor? I mean, I guess, but you just gotta put them in the right clothes. Again, that's
Mhm.
just like you feel me. You just gotta put them in the right clothes. Like my boy Sean, he's styling. There's a couple NFL players that he styles and he puts them in the right clothes. You feel me? Um, so that's really it. You just gotta put people in the right clothes. This shit shouldn't be a challenge. You just don't put somebody in some shit that they have no business being in. You
Mhm.
feel me? That's really it.
I do have a question. I don't know if you saw this. I'll put the images up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But Isaiah Pacheco and another NFL player were going to the same game,
Mm-hmm.
and they wore the
Oh, the
exact
same
same
shit
outfit.
for sure. And I think that's somebody like my boy Sean styles. I know he styles a couple players from the Chiefs.
Okay, and what do you think about that
The fact that they
happening?
wore the same thing,
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a possibility they had the same stylist, or do you think it's two stylists but the same idea?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. You'd have to ask Sean that if Sean styled him for the Super Bowl or not. That was that for the Super Bowl or was it for
That
the
was
game
for the Super
before?
Bowl.
For the Super Bowl, right? I don't know, cause I don't know. I did see that. I'd be mad as shit if I was him, boy. Like what? My first Super Bowl fit. Somebody else got it on. We'd have to do it all over again.
Listen, Sean, if you're watching this, hop on the pod. We could talk about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if he. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. That is so crazy.
Yeah, it was real.
They were
It
both
was
on the Chiefs.
no two different
They were
teams.
they were on separate
Yeah,
teams. Yeah,
different
that's some
teams.
bullshit. I don't know.
Because then
That's
it's
crazy.
like people were talking about how can, one individual wear the same thing but he's on the opposite team. So it's kind of like this back and forth, like whose side are you
But
on?
and that just goes back to it. I mean, the athlete's mindset for fashion is just not broadened.
Exactly.
Because that's not the first time that's happened.
No,
I've seen
big.
athletes wear not Super Bowl night
Yeah,
playing
that's
against each
probably
other.
why it was so
Yeah, for
televised.
sure. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen athletes wear the same shit before.
Yeah, but like you said, I love that you pointed out athletes. Because there's some athletes that we can name some if you want, but I think Karis LeVert can
Karis
dress.
LeVert, he has a stylist.
He's a stylist.
Yeah, he has a stylist.
Okay,
For
so
sure. It's not their natural thing. Their natural
no,
thing is
basketball.
exactly, which is
Gotcha.
tough.
No,
which
yeah,
is tough.
That's
Makes
why
them way more money. For sure.
That's why I do the podcast.
Yeah.
You're the stylist, and then we
Know what
got
I mean?
the basketball
Stick
players
to
playing
what you know.
basketball.
I mean, stick to what you know.
Um,
Get help where you need it.
exactly. But do you find it crazy how? Well, I feel like growing up. Well, for me growing up, it was this thing called this new thing. I don't know if it's always been called this, but the sandwich outfit.
The sandwich outfit?
You ever heard of it?
Nah, I got something to do with colors or some shit.
Yes. So if you're wearing, it's gonna be orange jeans, orange.
Yeah.
So that's the sandwich outfit. That's how people are describing it now, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like I was raised, right? It was sandwich outfit all day.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that really, I don't know, that really pulled, I guess, you or a lot of people from
Outside the box?
Yeah, outside the box and doing different things in the sandwich outfit.
I don't know. I was never raised like that, so I don't.
Okay.
And I wasn't raised anyway. Really, when it comes to like fashion and shit,
Mhm.
I wasn't necessarily raised anyway. I didn't really get into fashion till my later years, but I never even liked the way that shit looked. I felt like that looks like some old person at a picnic type shit.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Yeah. So I never really. I was always just more creative than that.
Gotcha.
You just got to think more creative than that.
I just think it's crazy how the outfits are now. I do want to ask you that too.
Mm-hmm.
But let me say what I was gonna say real quick. So I lost it. I hate when that happens.
With the sandwich shit.
The sandwich. So the
Mhm.
sandwich, I be putting on when I was a kid, I was putting on it was basically, to me, it was like uniform. Like you wear
Yeah.
blue shirt, jeans, and then you get a shoe that has a little bit of blue in it. But I love how creative a lot of people have gotten where, like, I just never thought about it like that. Like, when I started really following people and what they're styling and how they're putting on outfits, it really inspired me to, like, throw different things on. Like, one
Yeah,
thing
have
that
something, throw something off.
there was one thing that I always thought was wrong until I spoke to somebody where different like wearing jean on jean. Someone told me that to never wear jean on jean, that's horrible.
Like denim on denim, like
Yeah,
denim
denim on
pants, denim
denim.
jacket.
Yeah, denim on denim. My bad.
No,
But
no, you good. I feel you. I was make sure because you meant like denim
yeah,
jacket
yeah,
too.
yeah. And like the shades could be different.
Yeah, I think what that was is people thought that was mad country.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Is people thought it was mad country. I've worn denim on denim a few times, so I don't have a problem with it.
I after I was told that you can wear denim on denim and it doesn't have to be the exact same color for you to put it on either.
That too.
So I put on a nice fit. I feel like, you know.
Yeah. No, you
I
good.
think I
Yeah,
did. I
you
think
could
I
do that.
did.
Yeah, you could do that.
But
That
so
can
what
be
I
done.
do want to ask you, right? I want you to give me your top 5 things that you don't like.
Top 5 things that I don't like.
Don't like in fashion.
Things that I don't like in fashion.
So like I guess a fashion trend. So with top 5 things.
Oh,
you don't
all
like
right,
fashion
bet. I
trend-wise.
don't like niggas painting their nails. It's not that I'm against dudes painting their nails, but don't do it if it's not your style. You feel me? Like there's a certain aesthetic that really annoys the shit out of me. Because there's a lot of people are followers, and that annoys the shit out of me. So I know that annoys me for
So
sure.
is that number 1 or number 5?
That's number 1.
That's number
That's
1.
number fucking 1 for sure. That annoys me for sure. Dudes that paint their nails and it's just not even their style, because then they just look crazy. But we'll go past that.
Let's start at 5.
Start
so
at
we
5.
Know
All right,
won.
we know. All right, so 5. What else? What kind of fashion trend don't I like? I don't think it's a trend anymore. But back when dudes would wear those big ass vintage tees and some short shorts, that would annoy the shit out of me too.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know. I don't really have much against fashion. It just be
So let's do one
tacky
more.
shit
Top
like
3.
that. Yeah, one more thing that I dislike. My fashion trend. What are some fashion trends that I dislike? I don't know, man. What are some fashion trends?
That I personally don't like?
In general, any kind of fashion trend.
I guess mixed matching logos.
Okay.
Like
I guess. Like no Nike with Adidas kind of thing. Okay, I feel that. I mean, yeah.
Some people are saying that vintage is low key on its way out.
Vintage is on its way out, like vintage tees.
Yeah, vintage tees. That's what I've heard.
I know people are loving vintage right now.
Exactly.
People are loving vintage for sure.
I'm a big vintage guy. I like
yeah,
vintage
a lot of people. There's a huge crowd of people that love vintage. Yeah, thrifting is that's what thrifting is. Vintage shit.
So your most hated is painted nails.
Yeah. In terms of fashion trends, because I mean, people dress how they dress, so I don't really have much against how people dress. Besides the big T-shirts and the little shorts thing, that shit pissed me. And then they put on like some stupid Jordans. But yeah, that whole fit annoys the shit out of me. So it's really just that, and yeah, dudes painting their nails if it's not really their aesthetic, if it's not your style, you feel me?
Then why do it?
Word, don't do it just because you see, some rapper doing it.
So what I do want to ask, right? Because I think that I have an idea of the answer.
Mm-hmm.
What season's the best season to be styling in?
The best season, like fall, fall, spring.
Okay.
That weather where you can, wear whatever you want, whether it's you want to layer up or t-shirt, you feel me? T-shirt or hoodie kind of thing, you can choose. Summer it be too fucking hot, and I hate the winter. You feel me? You could layer up in the winter, but I just hate the winter. Yeah, I just hate the winter. So yeah, anything comfortable really.
So I do want to ask, because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to styling, they don't really know what to wear in the summer. Because when it's hot, you can't put too much on.
Mm-hmm.
Because from experience, me and my girl tried to put on like some, the short shorts and the religious
Yeah,
tee and
I know.
and then
Yeah,
the
that's just
shoes.
you can't do
But
that,
it's
yo.
like
That's
I went to
terrible.
Disney, and bro, it was too hot to be trying to
Mhm.
look good in Disney,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, you know what? In the summer, you just got to get your shorts game right. You feel me? And it's not just basketball shorts or whatever kind of shorts that people be wearing.
Mm-hmm.
They're all brands make denim shorts, whatever kind of shorts it is. You just gotta get your shorts game up really, and then you can throw on any kind of t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple, for real, for real.
What do you think
It
are
just
some
be mad hot.
accessories?
Accessories,
Accessories you could wear in the summer.
accessories you can wear in the summer. I mean, the essentials. You get some lit socks because you're gonna be showing the socks, obviously. So get some real dope socks. Shout out my boy Zell. They got some lit socks right now. Still waiting for mine. Um, but yeah, socks. Belts. Get some dope, maybe chains. Go over the tank top kind of thing. Bracelets. Jewelry game could be cool if you like jewelry. But really, in the summer, it's not too much. Maybe the what is it called, the belt, the biker chain kind of thing, the
Okay,
wallet chain.
gotcha.
Where
Okay, so I just came up because I wanted to do a
put a
segment.
pin in that. My go-to accessory, I wear. My bad.
Nah, you're good.
I
I
wear
saw
this
that.
holster, right? I want to design my own, but I wear this holster. It holds my phones and my sunglasses and some other little random pocket. So this is a accessory personally to me.
Okay,
So this is my personal accessory that I wear
I think
all
it's
year
hard
round.
though.
Appreciate you. Yeah, so
Um,
that's my shit.
what would you suggest, or what is your advice on shopping online when it comes to fashion?
You gotta know your sizes and know what you're looking for. Number one is if you don't shop online, obviously that means you're going into wherever you go to shop.
Mm-hmm.
So go into wherever you shopping at and try stuff on. Even if you out wherever out one day, try some stuff on. You feel me? See how stuff fits, and that's how you know. And you feel me? Then you could go online and be like, oh yeah, I tried these on that day. I know how these fit. You feel me? Me personally, and being a stylist, even if something fits for me, it's not. I'm a slim dude, so nothing's really
Mm-hmm.
ever been too small.
Okay.
Maybe a couple times. But so if something didn't fit me, it was because it was too big, unless it was shoes.
Gotcha.
But clothes wise, if something didn't fit me, it was because it was too big. But I was able to work with that. You feel me? So that wasn't a waste. You feel me? I
Okay.
was able to at least get a fit out of it. Then I'll just resell it.
And
That's another thing. You buy stuff online. What are you concerned about? That you can't return it or something? Just resell it. Just resell it.
gotcha. What I do want to ask is a little bit more of a deeper question, right?
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to somebody who is trying to become either creative in their own realm or their own way, right? What is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody when it comes to becoming a creative?
Don't be afraid to go out on your own. Don't hold yourself back moving at other people's pace. Don't hold yourself back waiting for other people to, go along with you. Do your own thing because that's the only way you're going to grow yourself for sure.
Got you.
That's definitely it.
Got you. And do you feel like I spoke about this a lot in season 1, but just the fact that I feel like it's really important to find who you are and what it is that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're really trying to make yourself and your identity a brand, then you gotta know that you like yourself, because then other people are gonna like you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're in the middle of debating whether you like something, you're gonna slowly die down on it, and then people are
Mm-hmm.
gonna start realizing that he doesn't like it, so why should I like it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how important, or why do you think it's important for you to like your own brand?
I think it's important for you to like your own brand because it's sort of, how they say you got to like what you do. You feel me? 'Cause that's the only way you'll be able to keep going. So if you don't like what you're doing, then you're going to give up soon. You gotta have a passion for it. You gotta like what you're doing because that's going to make you want to, how can I do this better? How can I grow that?
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely gotta like it. And when it comes to the masses, the people out there, it's a follower mindset for the most part. You feel me? If people like you, they're gonna like what you're doing regardless. Even if you don't like it, if people like you, they're gonna like it. Because people if they like you, they like what you're doing.
Exactly.
So it's important to like yourself and give off that energy.
My last question, because we are getting to the end of the podcast, is ultimately, what is the goal for Terrence?
My goal, ultimately, I want Easy Target to be a more than just a clothing brand. I want it to be a full functioning like service, like managing service. I want to have my own model agency. Like I always have my issues getting into a model agency, so now I want to have my own. You feel me? I
Gotcha.
want to have my own models. I want to have my own clothing brand. You know, I want to be able to style, you know, the biggest names, style myself on the biggest stages. So that's really the goal as of now in terms of fashion.
Okay. All right. So we are at the end of the pod. I'm going to ask you my ending questions before I go ahead and end it off.
Sounds good.
So my first ending question is, what is the message that you would give to your future self?
Message that I would give to my future self. Congratulations, my boy. You did it. For
All right.
sure.
The next question I'm going to ask you is, what do you want the world to know about Terrence?
The world to know about me. I'm an easy target out here, man. Just trying to hustle how I can, get things done. You feel me? And just because you're an easy target doesn't mean you're going to get hit. Just keep moving.
Gotcha. The other question I want to ask, and I think it's because of everything that's going on around the world, and I feel like we're the most divided now.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing you feel like the world needs to hear?
One thing the world needs to hear is to just help each other, man. Help each other in every aspect of the world, you know, from the biggest stages to the smallest stages to the biggest pictures to the smallest pictures. We just need to help each other as a country, as a community, as a world. We just need to be more selfless.
Gotcha.
For sure.
So, easy target, Terrence. This is the end of the podcast.
Thank you for having me, for sure. Thank
course.
you for having me. Shout out Community Podcast.
Thank you. But before we go, the camera's now yours. If there's anything that you want to say, this is your time.
Just tap in with me, man. The biggest target on Instagram. That's the biggest target. That's me. Easy Target Academy. That's the brand. Got a lot of stuff coming out soon in the next couple of months. It's gonna be a big year for sure. So just stay tuned.
All right. Well, that's the end of the podcast. I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you're watching from around the world, thank you. Shout out to you. You all will make up the community pod here. If you want to check out any of Terrence's clothing, please go ahead. It is the Easy Target Academy, I believe, on Instagram.
My brand is the biggest target, and that's mine. The biggest target, and the brand is Easy Target Academy.
Easy Target Academy. Please go check it out. See if you want to cop anything from around the world. Shout out to people in Nairobi. Shout out to people in Canada. Shout out to the people in United Kingdom.
Worldwide.
Everywhere. Shout out to all of you. Love y'all to death. And I just want to say shout out to any of my subscribers or the people who watch from TikTok Live and are coming to watch the new season of the podcast. Thank you for coming on this journey. Last but not least, you can find me on Instagram. Join the Discord, the community pod on everything. And I hope to see y'all in episode 3. And y'all have a good one. Peace out. Peace.
Peace out.